Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahliali in this incarnation. Well, I am going to channel a message. Remember to only take what resonates and to leave the rest because it is a general channeling and there could be things that are not adjusting to your experience. It is a timeless one, but we are going through energy of Scorpio, a lot of energy of Scorpio and Pluto. So the question of today is what needs to be transformed. Let's see what is coming and what can I transmit about that situation. Well, this is what I am seeing. It is like you got to a point where things aren't working out. There is a situation, and I am seeing like the situation came across your path, and you could be experimenting this as not mainly as a blockage, not something that is limiting, but something that is being very uncomfortable. And the situation that is happening, it is actually helping you to identify with more awareness, to be more aware about which path needs to be left behind. There is an experience, actually. I mean, this situation is connected to an experience in your reality, let's say a relationship and a space, a way, a dynamic that you have sustained in your daily life that cannot continue anymore. And I think you have gone through, it is not something that is happening, at this present moment only. You have gone through a challenging or an uncomfortable process until this point, and there is a situation that is coming across right now, like it could seem to be out of nowhere, but it is not. It is actually very connected to what I am saying, to a situation or a path that you've been walking in, and this experience, it is showing you the need to let go of. Let go of, a word that is so used in a spiritual world, but it is true. Letting go of is actually allowing things to circulate, allowing things to change. And change is the constant pulse that we experiment as human beings and as beings part of the universe. So what I am receiving in here, it is like there is this tendency. I always say tendency because these are things that we could change in the present moment by being, conscious about of them. So there is a tendency of keep walking in the same right direction that is not bringing plenitude. And I think that mainly this comes from a non-healthy attachment to certain patterns that are linked with situations of the past. Let's say you are attached to this space because of economic themes, economic because of resources, because the situation, it is linked with the way you are generating resources. And because in the past you experimented, or in your childhood you experimented the loss, you are right now holding on the situation because you have the fear of repeating that. But many times it is the fear, and with this I am not saying that something evil or something negative it is going to happen to you, of course, but what I am trying to say is that many times it is the fear, and it is the thing that we do in order to control what creates the result that we don't want. I could put another example in this situation. Let's say that you are in a relationship, and because you have experimented being cheated, or a person that cheated on you or lied to you, you have this fear of going through that situation again, and then you become so possessive or jealous or whatever thing that ends up producing that the person, perhaps it is not cheating you, but that the person decides to cut the situation, to put an end to the situation. So many times it is the fear and the decisions that we make from a space of control what actually end up manifesting what we don't want. I am not seeing that this is linked with having to do something to collaborate and to get better in this situation. I am seeing that this situation isn't working anymore. I am saying this because of the example that I put with the relationships. I am not seeing that this is about a relationship and a space and experience, a way of moving through the reality that you need to hold on. On the contrary, this is something that it is not contributing anymore, and you are holding on that situation because of the fear of things that you don't want to happen. But actually, they are, the way or the patterns that you are right now repeating could lead you to a space where you're not feeling good with yourself. You are not feeling comfortable in yourself. For some of you, this could produce anxiety or other manifestations in the physical body. I am receiving this, and those are signals of what you need to let go of in order to be in coherence with yourself and to move forward. The thing is that the path that is actually aligned with you, aligned with your growth, or aligned that will contribute with your well-being, you are perceiving that path with negative eyes, like things aren't working out that way, or you are perceiving the situation very like gray, or like this cannot be the solution, or this won't make a change in my experience. Whatever thing you are telling you to yourself in order to not follow the decision that implies to go through a fear or to face your fear. And all of these narratives are in the end leading you to again attach to this old path that is not being good for you, that is not feeling good. You are not feeling good with this thing anymore, and this is something that you are identifying very clearly for this situation. So what the solution in here, because this is the main focus that we need to make in order to transcend situations that could be challenging. The solution in here, it is reconnecting with yourself. This is leading you to a place, and perhaps something that I said sometimes, that I say sometimes, is that suffering do have a purpose. Many times suffering occurs just to teach us what we don't anymore, and what kind of suffering we don't want to experiment anymore. So suffering, I mean, perhaps you already have heard this, like suffering is a choice, pain is part of experience. And I think it applies for our lives, for our experience. I think it is not a cliche. It is something that actually happens. So many times we need certain levels of suffering, and we choose them in order to understand what we don't want anymore, what doesn't make us feel good, or what it is not helping us to change the things that we want to change in our reality, etc. So I think you are getting to that point, where you are attaching so much that you are in the heaviest space, and this is happening. I think it is important to transmit you that this is happening not in order to destroy you. This is not happening. This is not happening to for you to suffer. This is happening for you. On the contrary, let go of the suffering so you can choose the path that is actually for you, because that way you open yourself to the things that you really deserve and that are aligned with your soul and with your deepest soul desires. that many times it is a process to discover them also, because we think we desire certain things, but we discover that those things that we desire are actually part of programmings and things that a society told us to desire. So it is also a process discovering what our soul desires. But I am seeing that after this process, I mean, you are going to be pushed by life, and the more you put resistances, the more difficult it would be. But if you decide to choose the path of moving forward, even if this implies to move forward into the unknown, even if it implies to embrace the uncertainty and all the things that, you know, many times humans we could feel, you can choose also to focus in yourself and what your intuition is telling you every time that you come back to the uncertainty or to the fear. And I am seeing like this image of, you know, your heart illuminating the way. It is a very beautiful image, in fact. So you can choose to hold on that light, your own light, to open the way. But either way, if you choose to move forward with certain resistances, then the process, perhaps it is not going to be the easiest one, as I said, but eventually, either way or another way. Sorry, I expressed that weird. But what I am trying to say is that you will get to the point where you're finally you're going to understand the necessary of this process, the necessity of going through this process, and you will find the balance and the you know, the relief of being in coherence with yourself. I am talking of this in future, like you can find this now. It is a practice of reconnecting with yourself, but the tendency of the process of what I am receiving, it is about going through, you know, different stages and dealing with those things. And it is also part of, you know, learning or remembering who we are. So this message is actually to trust in what you know you have to do right now, even though this could be challenging or difficult, because the more you keep attaching yourself to that situation that is not making you feel good, the more suffering you are experimenting. So you have the choice right now to practice this detachment and enabling your emotions at the same time, embracing them and being compassionate with yourself, practicing compassion. So, okay, this is the end of the message. I am going to close here. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.